Kirsty from Kirsty M Design. Today we're going to be speaking about how to make the most of your Squarespace online shop and your product pages. We're going to be talking about SEO best practices, the different features within the product builder that you can use to help your customers learn all they need to know about your products, and also how to make the most out of the SEO features within Squarespace so that your products can be found on Google. So let's dive into the demo site and take a look.
So let's take a look at this demo site I have here. We'll break down the shop page and look at areas where you can maybe make improvements for your SEO to help you get found by Google, and also to make it an easier shopping experience for your customers. So we're going to start at the very top. You'll see up here is the page title. I've called it the Christmas Mug Shop because all of my fake products are Christmas mugs. You might find if you've just added a new shop page to your Squarespace site that up here it says something like Store 1, Store 2. This is a weird quirk of Squarespace where it auto-populates it with the way they've named it in their kind of template section. So to override that, click this gear section and then select SEO, and then you'll see what they've auto called it in there. It'll probably be something like Store 1 or Store 2. And you can override that by naming it. I do recommend adding some descriptive words rather than just leaving it as shop, even if it's your business name and then shop, or something like, in this case, I've called it the Christmas Mug Shop. Below that, whilst we're here, we'll take a look at the SEO description section. So you'll see up here, this is what your shop is going to look like within a Google search result. So we'll have the name of the page, then your business name, and then we'll have the description below. So by default, Google will pick up the first text it can find on your actual shop page. And that may be enough, but if you want to just be really sure and really specific about the text that Google is going to search through first when it's looking through your shop page, you can add that into this SEO description section. So as I've said here, add a very keyword friendly and specific shop description in this area. There's some extra kind of specifications about how you should format this text below. So it shouldn't be too long. It should be between 50 and 300 characters. So usually a couple of sentences works well. When you're happy with the changes you've made to SEO, you'll be able to click Save up in the corner. And now we can look at the page itself. So first we've got the actual on-page title. So rather than just saying shop, I like to take advantage of this area and be a bit more descriptive. So think of words that are relevant to what it is you sell in the shop or your business name, something that is going to help you when you think about people Googling your product and your shop. And do remember to set this as an H1 or a heading 1 within your design styles of your Squarespace page, just so that Google recognizes that it's the most important text on the page. Below that, I like to add a supporting couple of sentences. This is to help the customers who arrive on your shop. It lets them know exactly what they can expect within the shop, what the products are going to be, what they can find. And it's also just another great place to add in some more keywords for Google. As we move down the page here, the two main things to think about when you're looking at your shop page as a whole are your categories. So how your customers are going to be able to filter through your products to find exactly what they want. So obviously this is a very limited fake shop that I've set up, and everything is a gift, a mug, or Christmas. But think about the most streamlined way you can categorize your products so that when somebody does land on your page, they're able to click through to that category and find exactly what it is that they're looking for. The next thing I want to point out here is the product title. It can be appealing to name your products something a bit more interesting and creative, I think that's perfectly fine, but I would save that for the actual product description section. For the product title, I would be as kind of plain and simple as possible. If you think about it, until a customer knows about your products and your business, they won't know what that more kind of creative name for your product actually means. When they are Googling or looking through your shop, they're going to be looking for exactly what it is. So maybe this red mug is also known as the mistletoe. Nobody will know what that is. They'll be expecting to find actual mistletoe. So just naming it as Christmas mug, red Christmas mug, festive mug, whatever that may be, will be much more beneficial for your SEO ranking and how you're found on Google, but also just for the usability of your shop to customers who are not yet familiar with you. So now let's look at a product page itself, and we'll kind of go through that same process, breaking it down to highlight those important parts and how you can make the most of your product pages. So this is going to be based on the way Squarespace sets up product pages and kind of the sequence that it takes you through when you're adding a new product to your Squarespace shop. Some of these points are relevant to all e-commerce shops, but I'm specifically talking about the Squarespace platform. As I mentioned, we've got our product title. So everything I said previously about being specific and plain still applies. Next, we've got our kind of initial short product description. This is where you want to grab the attention of the customer, kind of pull on their heartstrings, speak to the emotions of whatever it is they're browsing for. So in this example, I've got ceramic Christmas mug that will make a perfect Christmas gift or stocking filler, or treat yourself and get cozy with a hot chocolate. So that statement's kind of doing a few things. We're getting in those keywords that people might be searching for: Christmas mug, Christmas gift, stocking filler. But we're also speaking directly to our ideal customer by saying treat yourself and get cozy with a hot chocolate. So that helps the shopper to kind of imagine what they're going to feel like once they get this beautiful mug home. They're all cozy beside their Christmas tree, drinking their favourite hot drink, wrapping their presents, whatever it may be. So that kind of immediately connects with your customer and makes them a little bit excited about getting this product. It's also important to include the kind of nuts and bolts of the product itself. So the size, the material, the colour, include that in this top description as well. My only caveat there is if it's something really, really detailed where you're talking about dimensions, if there's multiple materials, I would recommend adding that detail in the description section below, and we'll get to that in a moment. Next, we've got a bullet point section. Bullet points are really good for product descriptions. In fact, anywhere on a website. They're easy for people to digest and quickly read through. So if you think about somebody who's browsing multiple products, I'm sure you've been there, lots of tabs open. You're thinking, which one's going to be the best gift? Which one's the one I actually want? If you make it really easy for people to take in that information about the product, they will be more likely to maybe go for yours over a product where they have to really sift through and hunt to get those details. So think about descriptive, easy to read, short statements that are going to really appeal and connect with that ideal customer. Product images are also really important. They should be of a really high quality, well lit. These ones are really great because they're quite atmospheric. They're showing those twinkling Christmas lights in the background. They're showing the mug with the hot chocolate and the marshmallows. If you're not able to really do that kind of product photography at this stage, just make sure you're really consistent with your products, with your product photography, that they're well lit, even if it's just a plain background, a plain white background. Something that's going to be consistent across all of your products is the kind of most important part. Then as we continue on, we've got the kind of additional information section. So when we look at actually adding a product ourselves, I'll show you where this is within the Squarespace product editor. But this is an area where we can add more information to support our product. And it's really great because it allows us to use all of the different blocks within the Squarespace page builder. So you'll be familiar with those if you've edited any of the other pages on your site. While this top description just allows us to do simple formatting with text styling, so bold, italicized, bullet points, the additional information section allows us to add in images, videos. We can add in a little carousel with reviews from our customers and really kind of go to town with information and helpful things that's going to help sell your product. This section is really helpful for kind of products that are at a higher price point. So I'm thinking if you're a jewelry maker, for example, you may want to go into more detail about the stones or the metals you're using, where they're sourced, maybe a little bit about your process. So you can add short paragraphs about all of that alongside supporting images. You could maybe even add in a short YouTube video in here. Everything that you could add to a normal Squarespace page can be added into this section, so it can be really engaging and dynamic. Reviews are always really helpful. They help a customer connect with the product and think, oh, somebody else loves it too. Similarly to reviews, images from your customers of them using the product or of it sitting within their house, wearing it, whatever it may be, those types of images are also really great at kind of allowing a customer who's not yet bought from you to imagine how they might use the product or see the product within an actual environment rather than just your kind of stylized setting. The final thing on our product page here is a related products section. So this can be turned on within the commerce menu in the Squarespace interface, and it will bring up either similar products, your most recent products, a random selection of products. It's really great for encouraging customers to buy more than one item. It also helps them stay on your site for a bit longer. If they've maybe browsed an item and they're thinking, not quite right, but I do like it, they'll get to the bottom and see, oh, actually that one's even more perfect. Click through and then go through this whole process again of getting to know the product. So that is a breakdown of a really engaging product page. What I'm going to do now is just go through the process of adding a product so you can see how we would include all of these bits of information and just kind of get you familiar with parts within the product editor that you may have overlooked in the past. So we will click on this plus icon, we'll select a physical product in this case, and we will run through this procedure. First things first is going to be the product name. So I'm going to be adding another Christmas mug, of course, Christmas tree mug in this case. Then we're going to be adding in our description. And in this example, I'm just going to copy what we've already got, although I wouldn't recommend that in real life. Do make sure that each of your descriptions are unique. They speak specifically to the product itself. You can share the same overall format, so you've got that kind of attention-grabbing welcome sentence that speaks directly to your customers and their kind of emotions. Then you've got maybe the more technical description of the product. Then you've got the bullet points. You can keep that structure, but make sure it's not just a direct copy paste, because that's not really going to help your customers and it's not going to help Google know that there are actually two different products. So we'll add our image here. We'll add in our Christmas tree mug. Now in this section you can add your bank of images. If you've got lots of different shots of your product, different color options that you might be offering, add them all in here. Then select the one that you want to be that cover image as your thumbnail image. I'll just be going with the same image for both. Then we'll add our price. You can add in your quantity if you need to. And then we've got variations. So I'll just go through this very quickly in case you're not familiar. But let's say you have two design options. Maybe one is the Christmas tree and one is a Santa Claus. So Squarespace will give you 3 default options of color, size and material. But we can customize that and just say something like design. And we'll say tree, comma. We'll allow you to add a second one. And we'll say Santa. And apply. Once you've done that, you'll see your 2 variants listed. And if we select edit all, we could customize the price, the quantities available, and you could also set a default image. So if you have your bank of images, you'll be able to pick the one that applies. And then when somebody selected it from the drop-down menu, it'll pull up the associated image. Under organization, what we want to do is make sure we've got the categories added. So if you've already added categories, you'll be able to simply assign them by ticking the box. If you want to add a brand new category, just add it in here. Add the word and then select add. It'll then be available within the list. So I'll just uncheck that one. Tags, I like to use tags not for filtering my products on the site, but for adding an extra kind of layer of SEO. So in this section, rather than just a simple word like gift, mug, Christmas, think about those words that people will be searching for. So Christmas stocking filler, Christmas mug, Christmas present, and you'll see below any tag I've used elsewhere on the site will appear, so I can kind of quickly select that and add it. Now we've got this marketing section, which allows us to control the SEO and the URL. If we click through to edit, by default it's picked up the name of the product, which is Christmas tree mug. In this case, that's perfectly fine. If your product name is quite long, you can edit this URL to be a bit more succinct. You can also change it completely so that it's more specific to what the actual product is. Similarly, when we spoke about the SEO title and description for the shop page, we can do that for each individual product as well. So in the background there, we've got that same preview of what this item is going to look like within a Google search result. If we want to add something more specific in here, so let's say, just to show you how that works, a Christmas tree mug gift, so that we've got that gift kind of keyword in there. And then we could also add a specific description in here that's really descriptive. I'm just going to add some placeholder text just to save me some time, and then we'll click apply. So then this will update. If it doesn't immediately, you can do a little save and then refresh, but you can see already the title has been updated to include the word gift. The last thing to point out here is that additional info section. So if we click through here, what we've now got is the block editor or the block editing functionality. So if we click the plus icon, we can see we've got all of our different blocks to play with to create some additional information, engaging content to really sell our product. So I'll not go through that in this video, but you can kind of go to town here with videos, images, customer reviews, really kind of give all of that key information to your potential customers. When you're finished here, you'll click apply. And the last thing to do will be to come up to done and save and publish. So now that that has been published, we can head back to our main shop page and just see how that looks alongside all of our other Christmas mugs. We'll click through. So now we can see our beautiful product that's been added to our collection.
Thank you so much for watching this masterclass tutorial. If you'd like any more information about Squarespace or working together on a new website, head over to kirstym.com and you can get in touch there.